All right, good evening, everyone. So again, I like to keep on my topics pretty flowing. So we've been going through, working with our listing agents and all of that stuff. We've been working on our paperwork on Tuesday. So I thought I'd slide a little, not so much on the paperwork side and the web forms and the web kits. I am going to go through it a bit for review, but we're going to slide into the Authentisign side to show you what you're going to do and how you send your clients things in Authentisign. So does anybody have any specific questions they want me to address before we get started? Anywhere they got stuck, something they don't understand, right? If you want to stop me at any time, I'm going to go and I'm going to share the screen here with our Stratus. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to log in. And I'm just going to start a quick review of a little bit of what I did on Tuesday. Because I know not all of you were here, so I don't want you guys to be completely lost. So there's a couple different ways that we can start creating kits in Stratus, right? So we can go directly to our web forms, right? As soon as it opens up there for me. And once we're in our web forms, once it decides to open, we're going to create a kit. Or it'll, freeze on me. I always say we pay good dues. They think they wouldn't be so glitchy. Okay, so when you open up your Stratus, if you're in for the first time, it's going to give you a little blurb on the top. Want to give you a little tutorial. You can read it later or whatever if you're practicing on this. But basically what you have on the side here is the house. The house is where you're going to be creating all your kits. So if I click on the house, I can see that all of my transaction kits are all housed together here in my little menu. I don't know why it did that. Okay. You can name it whatever you want. You can put your client's name. I tend to put the address, right? Because if they're selling and then buying, then you have the client's name there twice, right? So it just makes sense to me, but it doesn't matter how you file it. So when I was doing the training on Monday, I was doing these three here. I should have deleted those, but it's okay. We're going to go through and do it again. You want to create a new kit in here. You go to the add here at the top, right? Okay. And you're just going to name the kit, I guess, 234 John Street, because I already have a main street here now. John Street. Okay. And I can go and I can create the kit just from scratch. Like I say, this is one of three ways. I'm going to show you three different ways to create the kit. And when you're in here, it's going to bring you to the wizard automatically. And when you're in the wizard, you can fill out all this information. Okay. But I'm just going to say, like, if you're not familiar with the forms, say this is for a listing that I'm doing. I don't know what fields I need to fill out on those forms. I wouldn't bother because you're going to end up filling out a lot of information you don't necessarily need in these fields, right? So I just tend to go next till I get to the section where the forms are. Now, because we created this template, this just a raw template, you would have to know what forms you want to add to this kit. So if it's a listing that you're doing, if you're preparing for a listing, you'd have to go to the plus sign here and you'd have to start typing in the documents that you need. So I'm going to say listing agreement, right? Listing agreement, seller representation to offer for sale. So I need that one. I click on the circle. You see it adds it to my basket. And then I click add and it's going to go into my kit here. Now I have to think, what other forms do I need to list this property, right? So we're going to take it one step further. I created kits for templates for the office. We'll go back to the house here now, and we'll pretend that we're going to load a listing again. I'm going to go add. I'm going to add new, and I'm going to do the same thing, 234 John Street. But just so it's a little different, I'll name it listing. Let me just fix my spelling there. Okay. But before I click create, I'm going to go down to the template box here. And what happens is I'm going to click on what it is that I'm doing right now. So I said I'm doing a freehold for sale listing. Okay. Let's just pretend. And then I'm going to go create. So from that create now, if I bypass the wizard here and I don't fill out these forms or these fields, sorry, I'm going to go next until I get to done. And what's happened is our kit has been created now with all of the forms that we need in this box here. Okay. So You don't have to think, what are all the forms I need to load this listing? You know that once you have all the forms in this box filled out, once submitted and signed by your client to the office, you can load that listing, okay? You don't have to be worried that you're missing anything. You're gonna have to go back to your client for a signature, okay? When you're in these forms, the other good thing is that I have inserted sort of clauses and stuff or some information that's in there. So there's not a lot of clauses that you do for a listing agreement. But if you click on the listing agreement, I tried to save time wherever we could because I want us to be fast and efficient, running out the door, grabbing those listings all week long, right? So I just pre-filled out some stuff that never changes, like what brokerage it is, the phone number, the fax. But you would have to fill out the rest of the information for your client there. So that's the second way you can create a kit. The third way you can create a kit, I'm just going to X out of here. And I'm going to go to a listing. So I've showed my client this listing and I want to create an offer for this, right? I can go in here and I can go to the live listing. It says logging in, even though I'm logged in. Hold on, let's try that again. I don't know what it is about Stratus. It likes me to click things 2 or 3 times before it works. There you go. All right, 3 times the charm. So I'm going to go search and I'm going to go to a property around the office here, just so you guys are familiar and sort of know where we're talking about. Come on. So residential available, sale. Okay. Let's go. It's slow. Let me try it one more time here. Freehold available sale. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go to Toronto now. And I'm going to go to EO4, which is around the office. And I'm going to go to Dorset Park. Okay. So now I'm in Dorset Park here. Go submit. Okay. And I did Lewiston on Tuesday. So I'm going to go here and do 15 Radnor. Okay. So 15 Radnor Avenue. My client saw this. They love it. They want to place an offer in on it. Every listing has Webforms Authentisign right at the top of it. So we're going to click on that. And when we click on that, we're going to see that it starts to create a kit for us already automatically. And it labels it 50 Radnor for us. And we're going to go and pick the template we want. So again, it's the same thing. It's a freehold purchase offer that we're creating, right? Sorry, I did for sale listing the first time, but yeah, freehold purchase offer. And I'm going to go create. So now that I've done it this way, I've pushed it directly from the live MLS listing. You can see the wizard has filled out a whole bunch of the fields already. Okay. So it's filled out, you know, the list price, the seller's names, the list date, the, you know, frontage, the depth of the lot, whatever, all this information you need. And that'll help you because what that's going to do is that's going to automatically fill it out on the form side for you. Okay. So we'll go and we'll just click on some of these forms here. And this is a good kit to create too, because I can show you guys the clauses that I've put in there, pre-printed clauses. Okay. So we'll go into our agreement of purchase and sale, our offer paperwork. And we see when we open that up now, we've pushed it directly from the listing. And it's not always possible to do this. So if you're doing, if you're putting up a listing that hasn't been ever listed before, there's not going to be anything. You're going to have to start from scratch. You're going to have to create that kit. The most you can do is grab the template I've put in there. You're going to end up filling out most of the information, but this is a great shortcut. If there's a live listing and you're putting an offer in, you can push it directly from there and it's going to start filling out a lot of the information for you. Okay. But like I said, on Tuesday, you want to make sure, I'm just going to put this on a separate line. You want to make sure that the information that comes up automatically is correct. So always remember that the person has loaded the listing, but they're just a human. They're another agent out there. They're entering the information, or maybe admin in their office is entering the information. There's room for error and it's not always 100% correct, right? So you want to go through and check. So the first thing we were talking about is checking title. So if you go here and you go to the geo warehouse of the property, you're going to make sure that the names match, right? So here we have Monica and Hamish. We just want to make sure it's those two people on the property here. Of course, geo warehouse doesn't want to load either. Click, click, click. Okay, let me go and type it in real quick. So if it doesn't come up automatically for you, sometimes it's glitchy there. You can pull up Geo Warehouse like this. And you can start typing in the address. Okay. And then you can go into the property report. And you can see that Monica and Hamish, those two are the ones on title. That's great. They actually have some middle names. So I honestly would go in and I want to make sure I'm matching what's on title. So I might directly take the names off of here than the listing, because I don't like the fact that, you know, this listing agent has shortened it. So Albert, Andrew, Hamish, and Monica, Selby, Lee, whatever. So I'd go and I'd take those. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want to get to Authentisign. I went over, you guys can rewatch the video there on Tuesday. Once I repost it because it got taken down. So fronting on the whatever side of the street in the city of whatever, you know, you're going to fill out your things. Now, once you finish filling out everything, oh, I was going to go to the bottom of this form quick actually and just show you. I did insert basic clauses at the bottom of all of the offers and everything that I've put in here. So make sure you read through it if you're going firm, to cross out what you don't need. If you need anything in addition to, right? This one has, you know, basic financing and inspection clauses. The condo one, I put the status certificate in there. I'm just trying to save you guys time so it's really efficient and it's super easy for you, but it's still important you guys understand that you're responsible for your offers that you're creating. So make sure you do a reread, or if you're unsure, send it my way. I'll read it over and make sure that I think it's good. So the pre-printed clauses are down there. Okay. So now we're going to pretend that we fill out everything beautifully and we want to get our client to sign this now. Okay. So what you're going to do is you can click directly on the pen here. But what's going to happen is it's only going to take this particular form and put it into one signing kit. Okay. So first you have the house, which is your transaction kits. Now you're going to go off to the next section where it's fully filled out documents and you want your clients to sign. So we're going to go to the signing kits. So instead of going directly to the pen up here, okay, I'm going to go to my transaction forms, which is the paper here with the little doggy ear on it. And I'm going to pick which documents my client needs to sign. So my client does not need to sign the identification record. They need to sign the offer summary document though. They need to sign the confirmation of cooperation, the agreement of purchase and sale, the buyer representation, and the working with a realtor. Now, if you came in here and this is the third offer this week you're putting in for your client, right? Just because I've created the kit, it doesn't necessarily mean you need everything. Like maybe you signed the working with the realtor and the buyer rep earlier in the week. You can mix those, okay? It's just whichever ones you need that you're choosing to throw into the kit, okay? And now I'm going to go up to my basket here. And the basket is basically just what action do you want to do with those forms that you just chose, those circles you just chose, right? So you're going to either fax them, email them, PDF them, pull them down in a PDF, print them, zip them, copy them, or now I'm going to take them and put them all into Authentisign, all 5 of these forms here. So it's going to take me over to the Authentisign side of Webforms and Authentisign. Yeah, I'm going to leave. Okay, so now I'm in Authentisign, okay? And the first thing it's going to ask me is, what signers, what are you going to do with these signers, right? So you can set the signing order if you put this on. And what that means is if I send it to myself, then the husband client, then the wife client, I want to say that, you know, the wife signing first, the husband signing first, and I want it myself, it to come bounce to me after everybody signed, because I really want to review it after, make sure everything is okay, fine. Really and truly, it doesn't matter, okay? My favorite is just, I don't set the signing order, and it means it's going to send it to everybody at the same time. Everybody signs at their leisure as soon as they get it, you know, in their email when they get a chance, and then it'll come back to you once everybody has signed the document, okay? So you're going to start by adding the participants. So I'm going to add myself first. That's okay. It gets my information from my profile. So you want to make sure when you're in.
Was a little loud. I didn't realize.
So you want to make sure that your profile is set up properly in Authentisign. So you can go to your contact information there. I'll show you in the settings. I'll back out of here in a minute because it automatically populates it when you say select yourself. So you want to make sure this is an email you have access to, that you use on a regular basis. You remember the password. because that's where it's going to send your signing when you do your signatures with your clients. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. Okay. And I'm going to set myself as the co-op salesperson. Okay. And I'm going to assign signature blocks. So this is going to fill out a wizard for me. And I'm going to show you a few of the pitfalls that happen in a moment here. So I'm going to add from contacts again. And I'm just going to start adding people I know in case I accidentally send this. I'm not going to pick real clients. So we'll send one to Mr. Shiraz here in the office. We're going to pretend he's my buyer client. Select. And who else do I have in here? Let's see. Do I have? No, do I have Mr.
It's real.
Yeah, I have Bhaskaran in here. Okay, Bhaskaran, we're going to pretend you're the other client there with Shiraz. Okay, so I'm just going to pop you two in there. Okay, and it did not. Let me just see something here. It's not asking me. So sometimes the wizard is glitchy there. It didn't ask me to assign what you guys are. So I'm going to say, probably because you guys aren't here, I'm going to say that you're the buyer just for a minute in my profile. And I'm going to change Bhaskaran to the buyer here, and hopefully it will plug you guys in with the wizard, because I want to show some things that the wizard does that you got to watch out for. Okay. So Authentisign makes it really simple. You pick yourself because you're the co-op broker, and you pick your clients who you've entered in as a contact. If they're not in there as a contact, all you can do is when you go to add participants, you can add new. So you can start typing, John Smith client, and you can add them that way as well. And now what you have here is the document is mostly signed already. Okay. You see how it's plugged in already, signatures and initials where I need. Okay. It's actually done quite a smart job of it right now. I can tell because some of the pitfalls it does on the regular aren't here, but I'll show you what it is anyways. So you have signatures and dates where you need them. Okay. But you need to go through the document because very often one of the pitfalls is it'll sign in two spots. So like here, it'll sign on both sides of this agreement. Let me see if I can pick another place. I'm just trying to see if it does it on the regular. Sometimes it'll just plug initials in where you don't need it. So make sure you're going through the document, even though it's super easy. The wizard's done all the work for you. You're going to make sure that you're going through and checking it. Okay. I want to show you what it's like. Oh, here's a good spot. Okay. So you have an offer that's going through. We all know that we never sign the acknowledgement. Super bad habit I see of agents. Okay. You never sign the acknowledgement until you have an accepted offer. Okay. Because people can do nefarious things with deals. They can go around and like something will fall through and they'll say, oh, this one they signed the acknowledgement, will accept this. It's very, very bad. That acknowledgement is only used when your client is acknowledging there's an accepted offer and they're aware of it. Okay. So see, the wizard put it in there automatically. I'm just sending this offer for the first time. I'm going to delete it from that spot because that's not in a needed spot. Okay. And just take a quick look at the document again. Oh, here we go. So it automatically puts it here because it's looking for buyer's initials, but I know that I'm not signing my client to a longer than 6 months BRA. So I want to make sure I go and I delete the initials there. Okay. But see, going and deleting these few places takes a lot less time than doing the whole document, putting all the initials and all of the signatures where they're needed in the whole document. So the wizard is still good. But I can see that I'm also missing here. So we know the declaration of insurance is here. So here's a good spot for me to show you how to use Authentisign if you're not using the wizard automatically. So the first thing you need to make sure is the person in the top right is the one that you're doing the action for. Way easier with the new Authentisign now. I don't know how many of you use the old Authentisign. It was all the same color, all black and white. It was getting confusing when you had a lot of signatures. Here they color coordinated everything. So it's pretty hard to mess up, but just make sure that you look to the top right. I want Christine Boland because I want myself to sign as the co-op agent in the declaration of insurance. So I'm just going to make sure I'm the person at the top right. And I'm going to take sign here and I'm going to pull it down here onto the line. Okay. And now here, it doesn't ask for the date, so I can go in and delete this if I want. If you keep it, it's not really harmful. But the date does automatically go there. You can shut that function off. I like it because when I'm signing quickly, I like it that the date automatically, more often you're using the date than not, so I keep it on. Okay, so we're going to pretend we work with this Authentisign a little bit more. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's really user-friendly. So we saw the signature function was really easy. The next function is the initials. So you can pull over an initial like this. Okay, if you need your client to sign like that. I'm going to go up here to the clauses. We're going to pretend that our client's going in firm. Okay, so again, as an agent, you should really never be just deleting a clause and sending it blank in your offer. The best practice as per RICO is that you're going to take it off by crossing it. Okay, so I'm going to take off the finance clause and I'm going to take off the inspection clause here. And I'm going to make sure my client is aware that I've explained to them that they're taking off these clauses and acknowledging it by initialing it. Okay. So here you go. I'm going to actually, sorry, I should probably change this so you guys see. I'm going to go to the top right. I'm going to take Shiraz, which is the buyer. I'm going to put him here, an initial here, an initial here. And I'm going to take Basqueran, my other client, buying $1.3 million house near the office. We all know where to party now, right? And we'll put your initials here. Okay. Now, say I need to insert something at this point. My client says, you know, that piano in the basement, by the way, I really want to make sure that they remove it. I don't want to deal with taking that piano out after pianos are heavy, right? You can go in and you can add a text box. Okay. And you can just pull it here. Right. And you can say, seller agrees to remove the piano in the basement. Okay, great. And then you can't forget, because you've just inserted it, it's not part of the original agreement. Again, you're going to go in and take your client's initials and have them initial that. Okay. Okay, now we'll go up here and we'll just figure out other things we can do with it. Say, I don't know, you can highlight things for your client if you want to highlight something to them. Like maybe I want to really make sure they read this clause before they cut it out, right? So I can take this highlight tool. Whoops. And I can go and I can highlight. So they'll see that it's bright and it's yellow. Why is it highlighted? Maybe they'll take a little extra time to read it there. Okay. And just check the rest of our document. Okay. Now from there, we've done all the signatures we can. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to send it to your client. So you're going to get an email, Basqueran, because you're in here, but it's okay. We're going to go and we're going to click on send. After you click send, you do not have access to those documents right now because they're being sent. They can't be altered while you're doing that, but you can monitor what's happening in the transaction. Okay. So now I'm going to click on the signing here. And I'm going to see I have that Radnor Avenue. Okay. And we're going to watch what happens in real time here. So you can see what's happening and you can kind of monitor what your clients are doing. So you see here, it says remote signer, whether it's authenticated or approved. I'm going to go in and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check my email. Hopefully it'll come right away and won't take a long time. So I have here on my phone, I don't know, you guys can't see it off my phone, obviously, but it says your signature is requested. So that's exactly what your client will get. And I'm going to click on it and I'm going to open it. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So now, if I were to come back into this document, okay, oh, hold on one second. Let me click on the start signing. I'm going to click back on the signing and you see there's a like green shield there now on authenticated. Authenticated only means that your client has opened the email. Okay, so why people ask me very often, can husband and wife use the same email? The answer is no. In one signing, you can only use one email per person signing. And that's because it's Authentisign's way of authenticating you. So it's checking each email address, what IP address they're using, what time they're opening everything. Everything you're doing is being stamped and certified here in Authentisign. So it's that it's a sound document and they don't think people are signing on other people's behalves and stuff, right? So I'm just going to start real quick and I'm going to click on the few places that I put my signature there to sign so you guys can see what it looks like completed. Okay. So it's super easy for your clients. Please remember, just as a general rule, you can see, look, I just signed the whole document now. I just bought a house in 5 seconds of signing on the phone. So because it's that easy, you really have to make sure your clients are protected. So and you're protected as an agent, that you're explaining everything that happens in that document, right? So I always tell my clients, and I text my clients, I prefer to text or email really, because then I have a little written proof of it. And I like to say to them, I've sent you the Authentisign. Please read the document and let me know if you'd like me to explain anything to you. Because we all just saw, I just went click, 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 and this is a $1.3 million property we're dealing with here on Authentisign. Click, click, click. Oh, I just bought it. I didn't read any of it, you know, and that's what our clients are doing. So we have to ensure that they know what they're signing at the end of the day, and they can't come back and say, I don't know. They sent it on my phone. They just told me to click, click, click. I signed. I didn't know what I was signing, right? You have to be very careful of that at the end of the day, because clients can be the nicest people in the world. When things go sour, it all comes back on the agent. The agent is always the one they're blaming.
We read everything before, 100% okay, the client accept,
Yeah.
If anything wrong, you have to let them know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So
I signed my part already.
you did? Oh, okay, good. We can see two sides. I didn't know that's what you're doing. Awesome. Okay, so I'm actually happy that you said that, because I can tell you what you've done already. Don't touch your screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see here now, if you go in, Christine Boland has authenticated and approved the document. Approved means I've signed the document. It's fully signed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go down to Bascaran's. Now, this is a perfect example. So I can tell my client Shiraz hasn't signed yet. I might nudge him, call him and say, hey, did you not get the email yet? Would you like me to resend? So I can resend to unsigned participants up here. Sometimes people glitchy, it goes to their spam. They don't get it for some reason, right? So I can resend it to them, or I can just instruct them on what they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for, my regular email is Bull and Realtor, and this is saying your signature is requested from Christine Hazel Bull. Maybe they're just not seeing the email. Now I look down and I see my client Bascaran. He has authenticated the document, which means he's opened it. He hasn't signed it. You have to know Authentisign and how it works. You have to be able to troubleshoot it. So what I always say is sorry?
He had to sign process.
No, I didn't. At the beginning, I didn't choose sign in line. I chose send to all participants, right? So what you need to do is you need to keep on sending yourself Authentisigns to realize the pitfalls of you got to do a little tech help with your client on the phone. Okay. So very often I don't even have to look at your screen. I know what you did. I'm going to tell you that you didn't hit complete signing at the end. You clicked on everything, but I can't see from here. Is there a box on your screen that says complete signing?
Yeah.
Click on.
It's a complete sign.
Okay. Click on complete signing then. Okay, perfect. So more often than not, if you're stuck on the phone with your clients, that's the thing that does it. I'm 99% sure now that this will tell me it's authenticated, that Bascaran has signed. Because as we see here, it only says he authenticated it. Every now and then the clients get to the end, if they're not used to using it, they see that complete signing, they think it's telling them. They actually have to click complete signing, right? So we're going to go back in here again. We're going to click on 15 Radnor. And it says Christine Boland has signed. And now Bascaran has signed. Okay. So now I am just going to go in here and I'm going to force the signing completion, because Shiraz is out and busy running errands. So I'm just going to force it without his signature here and confirm it. Yep, I want to force it. Okay, because I want to show you what the signing looks complete now. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to go back into your kit now.
Sorry,
and you're
just a question.
Sure.
So if you're forcing it, let's say the next client comes in person, then you could just.
Yeah, say you walked in the door and goes, oh, I thought I had to come here and sign it. So I'd force it, I'd print it and have their signature. Yeah.
Okay.
There's different reasons you might want to force the signature, you know what I mean? Have it
But
done.
If you force it, it doesn't sign it.
It doesn't sign it. You'd have to set it all up again if that person wanted to sign it still.
So
right?
Can you use the same one to send it back?
You can use the same one, but it's just a little more different because the wizard won't recognize the fields because you're pulling it as a PDF, so it won't work with the wizard. You're gonna have to manually pull all the signatures and stuff, which is fine if you're just missing a thing here and there. Sometimes you send it to your clients and you're so excited and you're like, oh shoot, I'm missing an initial here. Same thing, you just save the PDF, pull it back into a new signing, add the signer again, and then manually pull the signature or initial that they're missing, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I forced the signing. We're going to pretend it was complete though. I'm going to go to individual forms and certificates. Okay. And what it's going to do is it's going to tell me, do you want the original document? Do you want the signed document? Do you want the certificate, or do you want to copy it to your cloud? So I don't want the original. I'm going to be sending the signed one over. So let's go to my agreement of purchase and sale. This is what I need to send the other agent. I'm just going to scroll down and I'm going to show you that. See here, whatever your client's chosen, whether they've chosen fonts or whether they've chosen to draw their initial or signature, it's plunked it in here where they've needed initials or signatures. Okay, in all the spots that I assigned when I set up the Authentisign. See, signed in line there nicely. This is crossed out, right? All that. That's the way it's gonna look. Okay. So if I go back now to the signing, the other thing you can do is the certificate. You don't need to use the certificate to submit your offer or do anything. Maybe it's a good idea to print it if you want, if you have a printed file. If not, save it somewhere PDF. If not, it should always be here when you log into your Authentisign. You go back and you find the kit you worked on. This was only be for disputes. You know, if they said your client signed after midnight, you know what I mean? Like maybe there's a glitch in the email and didn't come to them till after midnight. You can say, no, I got the certificate. My client signed at 7:10 p.m., right? Because it'll say here and it'll say from what IP address. This certificate document is good enough to hold up in court, even if there's a court dispute happening with your offer or your listing or something, right? Because that's what's saying, happened during it. It'll say who signed when, what order they signed in, what their signatures and initials look like, see what they chose, in case you drew it or something. All that information is there in certificate. But again, 99% of the time, we're just using the signed section of this. Okay. So again, I encourage you guys to get in there, create kits, fake ones, just pick listings, sign yourself up to buy like $6 million homes and stuff, and just practice, putting clauses in, inserting, text boxes, crossing things off, putting initials on, putting the signatures on and the date, doing the signing to completion, taking it on your end and like clicking on it and making sure the signature is done and everything. Because right now, if you're new to this, I get a lot of calls from agents, exactly that thing that happened, which is why it's perfect that it happened, where you have a client who didn't click complete signing at the end, and then they're calling saying, my client said he signed, but I don't have it on my end. Like, what's going on? So I always tell them, I'm like, yeah, so you don't know these things unless you go and you practice it a little bit, because you have to do a little, like, not everybody has used Authentisign before, your clients, right? So you have to know how to walk them through it on their end, right? Okay.
And how long this participant can sign? Say, how many hours? 12 hours, 24 hours, or 48 hours, or 3 days? How long?
So I've had ones not sign,
And
it sends you a reminder, like it'll pull it to the top of the list and it'll say incomplete.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's a definite time that it deletes it or it's not good anymore. I've never left one that long.
Someday other party not sign after we disappear. So
Yeah.
That's why
So I've had instances where I go to send you an offer and I set it up for 750, and then you hear there's 15 offers. So you say, no, I want to do 775. So I change it. I send you a new signing for 775.
Yeah.
In that case, if I haven't deleted the previous one, in a couple of days, it nudges me and it says incomplete and it pops to the top of your list.
Yeah.
So I know it does a reminder if your client hasn't signed, but I don't know. Like I say, I don't know if it's a definite, I'm going to delete the signing kit if you haven't signed it in a year or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'd have to find that out if there's a cap on it. Yeah. How's everybody online? Do you guys have any questions or anything you want me to go over again online?
Christine?
Yeah.
Christine, for these kind of like not only this, like the offer documents and listing agreements, whatever you started from the beginning, do you have any manual, like when we do it sometime in the weekends, like if I miss the step that instead of calling your office, like, so do we have any step-by-step document? So for this, okay, this is the document, something it will be really useful at the beginning.
So they do have documents. I have gone over them before in previous trainings. I guess it would be helpful to you. What it does is it tells you what each field is, right? Even the pre-printed clauses.
Not each field, like for example, like, okay, if you are going to prepare the offer document, okay, these are the forms that we'll be pulling, and this is where we go, like, basic steps, like how to do that.
You can go on my YouTube channel and watch the video back there.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure if there's an actual manual or a way that you can get walked through it other than like maybe videos I've created. But you're looking for like a written manual with like a step-by-step.
Yeah, like not
click here, click there,
like an essay, by like point by point, like step 1, step 2, step 3,
Yeah.
Last year you sent the video, I think.
Yeah, I know there's lots of like videos and stuff like that. I always have the links to, and I've also gone over it before. There's no manual that I have per se that I created. I could look and see if Treb has a quick like a quick one that we can share with the office or something like that. If not, we'd have to create one sort of like 1 step, 2 step kind of thing.
Like not in very detail, like just like let's say if I'm not doing the this often, like just to keep it as like when
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Something you can keep. Yeah, no, it's a good idea. I'll take a look for you, Sudha, and I'll see if there is something for sure. Like I say, I normally just direct people to videos. So like this one guy in the office, I know he said my listing's not moving. I said I did a YouTube video on that. So he actually came in today and he was like, oh, I watched the YouTube video, it was great, and like I did what you said, and I'm gonna cancel the listing and repost it. And so hopefully it's a good resource for you in the meantime. But like I'll look on Treb and see if they have something. If they don't, then I can create something for the office.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
No problem, no problem.
You're leaving?
Everybody else good there online? No direct questions about Authentisign or anything? You guys know I'm always here. I say it every day, twice a week, while I'm training. I am always here if you guys need me. Call me, text me, don't hesitate. I don't mind. I can even most of the time without turning the computer on, help you guys walk through most of what you're doing. So just bug me if you're stuck, especially if you're in the middle of a deal. Never let a deal die because you didn't know what you're doing, for sure. That I would definitely be happy to answer a phone call from any of you. So everybody have
And Harry and Hiru, everybody, Guru, everybody come my 15 rando revenue. I bought.
Bascaran's giving you guys all online a open invitation for the house he just bought on Authentisign.
Yeah. 15 rando.
Oh, you know what? I only have a few of you here, but maybe I can ask you guys a real quick question. July 22nd, I'm tentatively booking for the picnic this year. So last year, we had a bit of a hiccup. One weekend was bad for us, like a group of people in our office. Then I planned it for the very next weekend and I knocked out another group. So I really want to make sure that July 22nd is okay with everybody. There's no holidays or religious activities that I don't know about. Anybody want to mention?
Our temple normally guys here or something.
So find out for me in the next, before I book it. I think I'll try and book it on Monday. So if anybody, I'd appreciate if you guys can let me know. Or if you hear anything, anybody here who hears anything,
most of the people going,
let me know. Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking July 22nd. I hope everybody will come out, have a big turnout. It was a really nice venue we found last year, really super comfortable. We had a little housed area. We were out of the sun. The beach is really close by. The washrooms are close by. So yeah, Coburg.
Actually, I'll be in Jamaica, Christine.
Sorry?
I'll be in Jamaica that time.
You'll be in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yay for you, boo for us. We will miss you. Okay, I'll see. The dates that we were going around was the 15th, 22nd, 29th kind of thing. So,
okay.
Yeah, are you
So
back?
it's not the date is not finalized yet?
No, I'm gonna book it on Monday. That's why I'm asking you guys if there's any holidays or anything that I don't know about. Find out, yeah.
I think they put it everything the temple.
Okay.
Normally July, so sometime.
So find out what day it is, if it coincides. I haven't booked it yet. I won't book it till Monday. So I'm giving everybody an opportunity to tell me if there's something, because I want everybody to come out and have fun, right? So
Actually, I will be leaving for that Friday, 14th. So
the 14th. Okay. So 14th, and then you're going for a week?
Yeah. I think, returning 21st. Yeah, Friday to Friday.
You're returning 21st, so you're good to come the 22nd then.
Is it 22nd? Oh, I'm not sure what time.
22nd, you're good. Okay. Everybody have an excellent weekend, and I will see you guys Tuesday morning for another training session. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Good night.
It's good.